How much writing should you be doing every week? That is a question I get from clients often. And the truth is, there's no one size fits all. Like so many things for writing and for writers, it's a very personal and very individual answer. And it really depends on a person's capacity, what other responsibilities they have, and what kind of elasticity they have in their brain to make the project work or not work. A lot of writers, self included, in the beginning, we make the mistake of thinking, oh, I need these huge blocks of time, or I'm not going to be able to get anything done because I've got to get my head into it, and then I've got to get organized and all this kind of stuff. And I used to do exactly that and get very little done. And I know so many of my colleagues who have done the exact same. It's intuitive that we think, okay, great, we'll have these big blocks and we'll just get into the state of flow and things will start happening, and that's how it's done. And in 20 years of doing some of that and some things another way and other ways, I have learned that it does not need to be huge blocks of time. I can be just as productive as if I front load my planning of my project with a really great outline, and then I try to make I personally work in at least 45-minute increments. I try to do an hour minimum, but I do an absolute minimum of 45. And I've trained myself to know what question to ask and to create micro tasks within my outline so that when I sit down to write, I know exactly what question I'm writing to, or I'm writing for. So for example, instead of sitting down and going, oh, now I have to write chapter 3 and I'm not sure what that is, I ask a much better question. I know that I'm like, okay, right now I'm writing the intro to chapter 3. Right now I'm writing a case study for chapter 3. Right now I'm writing some lessons for chapter 3. Right now I am writing the exercises for chapter 3. I know exactly what I'm doing every time I sit down to write. Well, not every time, let's be honest, but most of the time that is what my aim is, and that's how I work with clients. So to find out exactly how that would work for you, what that would look like, feel free to drop me a note or schedule a call. That's the kind of stuff we're going to be doing in the Island Writers Retreat. We're going to be setting up that game board and getting you absolutely focused on the project. So whether you've written a first draft and you need to sort of deconstruct it, which is exactly what I do with mine, or you're working on the first draft and you need to construct it, to me the process is the same. One is more creating inventory, the other is taking inventory. And we get you that badass game plan together so that the rest of the time you're not looking for these huge blocks, wondering why you can't get the pages out. It's because the thought process is much better and more efficient if it goes in on the front end. And that's not to lock anybody in. I don't want to be locked into a game plan any more than any other writer does, but it is to think through and process all of the big picture stuff so that you know where you're going, just like you would if you programmed a GPS. You would know, and you would also know the alternate routes. So it leaves room for that improv that we all hopefully love and enjoy to do if we need to do it. But it also helps us stay focused on that micro level so that if we're doing those projects an hour a day, it doesn't become a chore that we then have to put off or reschedule or can't do or interrupt to take a call because who can spend 3 hours away from the universe, right? It's all of those things. So hope this has been helpful and hope to see you on the next video.